Good morning, everyone out there. Happy Monday. It is Monday, and I am coming to you live from Hack Shack Studios. Art T. Bear here. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. But what did I do? Yeah, I had a wonderful weekend, and yeah, it's going to be a great week. It's going to be a great week. I know it's a holiday for a lot of you guys out there. Labor Day, is it Labor Day? I believe so. And so everybody should have the day off. Most of the people should have the day off. Hope you guys are all doing good. I wanted to do this stream because I wanted to let you all know how much I appreciate you. I could not do this without you. I know I say that all the time, but it is absolutely a truth, the truth, nothing but the truth. So help you know what the rest is. And yeah, Oodles was a great success. It's still going. We're in demand right now. We did hit that 14K stretch goal, so you guys will get your 4 new pages. So it went from 60 pages to 64 pages. So congratulations to all the backers and all the people that supported me and this campaign. So, signs of life. We got Andino, first one in. Hello, hello. Lay Kick One. Hello, Art. How are you? Yeah. So, but as life works, it's like there's the good and the bad. So there's a little bit of shenanigans going on with Indiegogo. So I'll get into that in a minute or two. But mainly, I wanted to focus on the positive stuff, which is all you guys rallying, getting us to that 14K. So everybody that backed got to get 4 new pages of content, which is pretty amazing. And so we're customizing this book, and I'm not rolling out future shenanigans, but they probably won't have anything to do with the book itself, because we are going to be going to print with the book very, very soon. I'm thinking this week the files will go out to the printer, if not sooner. So most of the files are already done. I just have to work up the new pages, the 4 that we just got the stretch goal for, and then some of the others. So there's going to be a lot of new artwork. So this is the second printing, so there's going to be a new artwork added to this version that will make it unique from the version before. So you guys are still coming in here. We got Luke. What's up, man? Death Metal Hero. If you guys haven't supported his channel, go do so. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. We're trying to work out a date to go and hang out on his stream. Yeah, Luke used to come on here a lot in the early days when I did way more live streaming. I'm starting to try to get back into that, but the thing is, it's tough sometimes to wear many hats. Men without hats are losers. You got to have many hats. I like the men without hats. Like Hick says, hope you have it to buy after the crowdfund. Yeah. We are in demand, so there's going to be a chance for people. I'm not sure how long it's going to be in demand, but it will be in demand, and that is the Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too. Hello, everybody. Hey, Art. It's a black and white page coloring day. Yeah, if you guys don't know, Pedro has been hard at work putting pages together for black and white high octane. Pedro is like a man of multi talents. He is not only writing the book, the story, but he is penciling, inking, and coloring the book as well. So he is a man of many talents. And we have 3 pages of pencils and inks, writing pencils and inks, and it looks fantastic. This is, I think this is going to be a side of Pedro that you guys haven't seen yet. So Pedro's bringing a lot of extra. He's bringing more ang to it. There's a little bit more ang to these pages. And you know what? I mean, when you think about it, High Octane 1 was his first comic book. So, and that was amazing. So over the couple years, he's gotten, he's honed his chops, learned a lot, and is continuing to wow us. So that is pretty cool. Luke says, "Miss those days, man. Always fun hanging out with you." Oh yeah, and you are a true comic book fan, and you are a metalhead. And so I wouldn't quite say I'm a metalhead. I don't go that far, but I do like the heavy and the metal when they're mixed together. I like both of those things. It's a good combination, and I do like it. But I like rock. I like hard rock. I like all kinds of stuff. Um, so we did go see Sammy Hagar the other day. My friend and I, my very generous friend, got tickets and took my wife and I along with his wife. And we just, what was it, last week or the weekend before? And we saw Sammy Hagar. I kind of think it's a farewell tour, but there was a band called Loverboy that opened up, and I can't say I'm a big fan of Loverboy. So I don't know if that is hard and rock. It's definitely not heavy and metal. So yeah, you know what? All the best forms of music have two things, like it's heavy and metal, or hard and rock, or dare I say, country western. All right, Richard Dupe is in the house. What's up, brother? Luke says, look forward to having you on for What's in the Box. Can't wait to open up my black and white book. You haven't opened them yet? Oh, shit. I got to get on there so you can read those books. We got, I can never say this, Jav Stylor. Jav Stylor. Hi. Well, hi. Hi right back at you. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go and I'm going to show you the campaign. And we're just going to get right into this crazy thanks and the controversy. So as you can see, 12,339. Just the other day, before we went into demand, we were at 14,329. So, oh my gosh, Indiegogo. I don't really know. I don't know what's going on in the world. I tell my wife all the time, I say, this is not our world anymore because I don't understand half the shit that goes on. All right, so I get a notice yesterday. It sent my wife through the roof. I mean, she worries like crazy. And so there were funds that didn't go through in this campaign. So that's what knocked it down from 14 to 12. And so we're still getting backers and stuff. So it's still going up, but they held some of the backers. And so just like everything modern day, they don't really give a valid reason, just reasons. We're looking into this. But they're not only looking into it, but they also took it away from the campaign. So they dropped those funds from the total. And they're looking into things. It's absolutely insane. This is the way I look at it. This is the way I look at it. And maybe it's completely wrong, but I'm a businessman. I've been running my business for 40 years. So, I've been around a lot of, Hollywood people, business, their shenanigans, comic book people, their shenanigans, good, bad, whatever. And this is how I feel about this. Okay, I'm just going to say it. That's my money, right? Indiegogo says you can't have these funds because reasons, which they don't give. And they say, well, you can't have those funds. Well, one, somebody backed the book. They issued their money to the campaign, which is to me. The only money Indiegogo is entitled to is their cut. That's it. So I agree to that. You take your cut, and then you pay me out from there. But you don't have a right to stop somebody's payment from going through. because that's my money. And there's some other details I'm not going to tell you, but they still didn't really give a valid reason. They just said they're looking into it. So I know all this is fraudulent. I know it. I can't tell you how I know it, but I know it. And so they're not issuing or acknowledging $2,000 of my money, of my money. It was sent to me. It wasn't, it was sent via Indiegogo, but this is my campaign. This is my book. I'm responsible for all this, not Indiegogo. So I just don't think that it's right that they should be able to decide whose funds go through and whose don't. And I, like I said, I do know that there were no shenanigans on the part of the backers, because a lot of you guys I've gotten to know over the years. And so, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, you know what? I'm going to come back and I'm going to see what you guys have to say about it, if you guys have any insight. But yeah, I mean, it's really strange that this entity, that basically all they are is kind of like escrow, right? All they are is like a third party where the funds go, they hold those funds until all their criteria is met, which it was, and then they keep their percentage. They make sure that, you know, the payment center is paid, that they get their cut for hosting and all that other stuff. That's fine. That's fine. But I really don't think that they have a right to hold back your funds. I have a real issue with a lot of these things, and I have more than one experience with this. All right, when we moved here to Texas, we had to buy furniture because we didn't have any. So we went to this furniture store. We bought thousands and thousands of dollars worth of furniture, right? We spent an hour in the shop, you know, looking at stuff and things like that. So we get up, we're checking out, and we go to pay, and they say payment declined. So they declined, our bank declined payment. And so shenanigans, that's what they say, that just, oh, well, we didn't know, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, we're just being, you know, extra cautious to protect you, blah, 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 blah. And then most people just go, okay, yeah, they're trying to protect us. But the thing is, don't treat me like a criminal. Don't do that. I have more than enough funds in the bank to cover this and then some. So you're playing God with my money. You're saying that, oh yeah, they have these funds and we could put this through, but we're not going to. Well, listen, motherfucker, that's my fucking money. It's not your fucking money, and you shouldn't be allowed to do that. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. And then I got to deal with, and my wife's got to deal with the embarrassment. So we look like deadbeats. Oh, insufficient funds? We don't have enough money to cover our own bills. What the hell are the T-Bears doing? Going in there and spending all this money like it's nothing. You know, like we're embarrassed. We're like, oh, well, well, we don't know what's going on. We have money in there. And then the company or the business, you know, the furniture company is like, oh yeah, sure you do. Yeah, you're good people. They don't know. They don't know anything. All they know is that your card and your purchase was denied. Denied. Your own money was denied. If I pulled that money out from the bank and I used the cash, they wouldn't be able to say shit. But since they have, and they can hide behind this bureaucracy that they've created, they feel like they can do this. They can't do that. It's not right. And I'm telling you right now, I'm so close to just getting rid of the credit cards. My wife's like, well, what about our credit? And it's like, what are you talking about? We've bought and paid for multiple properties, multiple vehicles. We owe nobody anything. We are debt free. Who wouldn't give us a loan? if indeed we needed one, which at this point, screw you. I wouldn't even jump through your bullshit, hurdles. Like, this is crazy. This, like, I felt like this, and I felt mostly for my wife because I didn't really care, but she fell in love with the furniture and stuff. So she just kind of like, oh, well, I don't know what happened. I'll call the bank, and so she wanted the furniture. You know what we ended up doing? We ended up getting one of their stupid ass credit cards or whatever, the furniture store. And so we bought it through credit. Store fucking credit. And so then we, as soon as the bill came, we paid it off fully, right? Because we have the money. This is bullshit, man. And I've talked to some of my friends that are more technological, and they go, yeah, this is for your benefit. No, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. That's my money, and you're deciding who gets paid and who doesn't with my money. I might be completely wrong. I might be oversimplifying this, but I'm pissed, man. I'm really pissed, right? That they feel like they can do this. And then PayPal. All right. I know I've told the story before. Okay, so we got our website, Art by T Bear, and so we sell stuff on there. And so we sold a bunch of X-Men pages. These were primo X-Men pages, right? So they were to go to Australia or something like that, right? So my wife packs everything up really good, and we shipped it out, right? So the guy that was getting the artwork, he got the box back. It was accordioned. It was folded, and the artwork had, like, there were 2 pages. There was a slight kind of crease in it. It wasn't like completely folded, but there was a little bit of a crease. I don't know if that can be fixed or not. I've heard like you can iron some of this stuff out or whatever. But anyway, this guy got a hold of us and wanted to work something out, like some kind of discount, or like he wanted to return the pages or something like that. There was a bunch of things that were discussed, right? So, we're trying to work things out. We want to be fair. We want to be equitable with this guy. And so I asked him, I was like, well, send pictures of it. And so he sent pictures, and it was damaged in shipping. It wasn't damaged because of packaging. It was damaged by the shippers, the post, right? And on top of that, the box was opened in customs. So all that packaging that Pamela did on this, what they did is they just shoved the pages back in the box, and they just shoved the packaging back in. But they didn't rewrap the artwork. They just shoved the stuff in there, right? So I contest back at him. I said, this has nothing to do with us. This is between you and your post. They damaged it. It's insured. Get your money back. We had nothing to do with it. So he didn't like that idea. So then he must have known like how to work the system. So he goes to PayPal. He offers a complaint, and then PayPal gets a hold of us, and they go, well, we want to hear your side of the story, blah, blah, blah. So they're making it seem like, okay, we're going to take both sides into consideration, and we're going to figure out this, and then we're going to make everybody happy, right? So I give my testimonial. I say it was damaged in customs. This guy even said it. There's proof there. It was opened in customs. The box is folded, and because he took pictures. The original and his testimonial said it wasn't wrapped in the original. The wrapping was just thrown in there. So at that point, I'm like, how could it even be remotely our fault? This is the post, the post office. And so then I tell my stuff to PayPal, and then PayPal comes back and they say, we're gonna have to, refund the money. And I go, but it wasn't our fault. And they said, yeah, but XYZ bullshit reasons. And I go, I just told you what happened. I told you what happened. These are one-of-a-kind pieces of artwork. I can't replace these. I can't just suck it up, right? This stuff was damaged. That means the pages are damaged. They weren't damaged by me. So then I have to pay this guy back his money plus shipping, and now I have two damaged pieces of artwork. I'm stuck with something that was damaged that wasn't done by me, and you think this is equitable? And he's going, it's our policy in these cases to do this. And I go, well, you already knew this going into it then. You knew what you were going to do. So when you took my testimonial and you did all this stuff, this was just to pacify me to thinking that this was fair. This was going to be fair, and that you were going to take every side of the story, and you were going to, arbitrate this stuff as a third party. And you made it sound like that this was going to be fair and equitable for both parties. Well, it wasn't. And you just said it was your policy. So you knew going into this what you were going to do. You were always going to side with this guy, and that guy already knew it too. That's why he did it. He didn't go through his post. He didn't do that other thing. He knew the easiest way was to go through PayPal and do this. And so my whole thing is, like I told this guy, I said, this is complete and utter bullshit. You made it seem like there was hope that we could work this out. I spent a half hour talking to you, and I spent all this time trying to work things out with you, probably an hour and a half of my time total, and for nothing. And then I said, you know what? I said, this is bad. Like I've had my car broken into. I've been vandalized and stuff, and victimized. And it wasn't as bad as the way you're victimizing me right now, because you made me see it seem like that you were a fair, entity, that you were going to do the right thing. And all it was just because nobody probably goes as far as I did to contest this stuff. So most people probably go, oh yeah, okay, I understand. Here you go. But I'm not that guy. And what you did was theft. Okay, so one, you victimized me by making it seem like that you were going to be fair. So you weren't fair. And two, you stole money from me. And the only reason you were able to steal that money from me is because I had money in the PayPal account. If I didn't have that money in the PayPal account, what would you have done? You would have had to play different with me. You would have had to ask me for the money. You would have said, this is the way it's been assessed. You need to do the right thing and pay this guy back, because you wouldn't have been able to do it. And so what do all these things have in common? That there's a third party that has access to your money that is calling the shots in transactions. They're calling the shots. You're not calling the shots. I think that's being victimized. I think that is predatorial. I think that's horrible. Like, it's my money. I should be able to decide. If all these things were cash transactions, they wouldn't have gone down that way. The only reason they went down that way is because of this plastic money. That's it. So I was able to be victimized because I believed in your stupid ass system that you were fair and equitable. But you're not. You play God with people's money, and you decide that you're going to do the easiest thing for you, not for your customer, for you. So this PayPal thing, BS. This Indiegogo thing, BS. I don't even know why Indiegogo's doing this, to be honest. I happen to know that these people are not flaky, and they're good people, and that they had no right to do this. It's my money. I work for that money. Me going in front of people and doing crowdfunding and YouTubing and putting ads together and trying to figure out ways to promote all of this stuff. That's me. That wasn't them. Indiegogo didn't do shit. The only thing that they did was offer a platform for me to do this with, but they didn't market it. They didn't sell it. They didn't promote it. They didn't do anything. So anyway, that's my rant. As you could tell, I'm pretty angry about it. Yeah, Loverboy is barely still around. That singer, look him up, man. He is like, he's three lover boys in one. Hey, Jolly Green, what's up? Let me see, Richard Dupe. I attached a transistor radio to head over reading Lobo, but could only pick up country music. Pam got back to me in minutes about the stretch goal stuff. Best customer service in the biz. Speaking of metal, yeah. Yeah. I try. I believe in integrity. I believe if you treat people right, that they will treat you right. They will support you. I don't believe in schemes and scams and shenanigans, especially in what we do. It's a small community. So weird. I got big Japanese package today. Lots of new Love Bites stuff. Sweet. Luke says, the more Indiegogo starts messing with people's money, the more likely they are to go to a different platform. Yeah, I mean, Kickstarter did some shenanigans for a while. I think the only thing I heard about Indiegogo is either they're working with a new payment system, like a new company, or that company is exercising more power over Indiegogo. So I don't know, but there seems like there is a little bit of a policy change, which they're not really letting you know. But anytime somebody messes with my cash, money that I worked for, money that I earned. I mean, just think if you were working hourly, right? And then all of a sudden, you know, there was a day of pay that was doxed, right? They just decided you shouldn't get paid. They have control of your money, right? So they decide they're not going to pay you for that 8 hours. And then you go, why? And they go, well, you know what? Go to this website, you know, this has our policies and whatever, right? That's what they do. They don't even give you a direct contact. You can't even contact anybody to go over this stuff. You just have to go, oh, well, I'll go to their website. It'll explain everything. And then I'm just going to have to shut my mouth because I have no recourse, right? But if your business did that, like you were face to face with this manager or whatever, they wouldn't do that. They would have to give you some kind of reason. And then you could work it out with the manager, right? Because you're there every day, you work with these people. So they're less likely to do these things. I know there's still jobs that screw people over and all that, but it seems like it's harder to do because there's less bureaucracy. Like these companies create all this bureaucracy, and there's just waves of like walls that you have to go through to get to anything, right? And they know it. That's why those walls are there. So it's really bad. It's horrible. And so I'm going to speak out against it. I am going to file a complaint. It probably won't do any good. I don't know if Kickstarter is any better. You know, maybe I'll do shared, you know, campaigns. I stood by Indiegogo, you know, and I believed in that company. And I know they've been, what is it called, where they don't support you. They, oh my gosh, I can't think of the word. Well, where they basically, it's not gaslighting, but they stop advertising. So like, if you were to go to their site, you can't find whatever it is because you've been blacklisted or whatever the term is. So I know that they've been doing some shenanigans. I know some of the other comic skaters have had a payment delayed by Indiegogo, stuff like that. So I don't know quite what's going on with that platform. Luke says all indie creators should seriously think about switching. to fund my comic or use Ray Haylock's plug to crowdfund on their own website. Yeah, I think their own website is good. I do have, Art by T Bear. It's in the description. I don't sell. Used to sell books through there and things like that. I might start doing it again. But the thing about that site is it's all set up to take PayPal. So, I don't know what there is to do. I mean, we can complain, but ultimately, I think things are less about the average person and more about the corporation or the company. I think we're going to see a lot more of this stuff because it's easy for them to hide behind, all this bureaucracy. And once they beat people up so bad, they're not even going to try to get any kind of justice. And also, there's a new generation coming up that doesn't even know how life worked without, this kind of bureaucracy. The independence of having cash. What we've been doing, my wife and I have been doing is we're using cash more. So if we're going to make a purchase, we'll go to the bank, we'll take the money out, and we'll pay in cash. And there are some shops, most of them are the smaller stores and eateries, but they'll give you a discount if you use cash. And so cash, in some regards, is still king. So it's one thing after another with Indiegogo. Yeah. Jolly Green says Art Indiegogo just changed their policy related to keeping funds for refunds because of so many late books and creators not using or issuing refunds. But why would they do it partially? Like, it seems like it's not penalizing me. Well, in a way it is, but it's penalizing the person that backed the tier, because they're the ones, their money's not going through. So they're not holding my funds back yet, like the whole funds, like they're not going to pay out. At least they haven't said they're not going to pay out. It was just those backers. So there was around $2,000 that was just deleted. And so they're looking into this stuff. So they're approaching the people that backed to find out what's going on, which there's nothing going on. I already know that. But also, these things, they treat people like criminals, right? Like, we're going to look into your funds. We're going to look into seeing if this is, if you're being responsible or not. I understand it to a certain extent, but I've done multiple I've done multiple campaigns. I fulfilled all of them. Just look at my record before you do something screwy. I know Black and White 2 was a little late, but everybody got their stuff. Everybody was happy. If somebody didn't, they could contact Indiegogo and complain or whatever, which I don't know if they did, but I don't think they did. I have no knowledge of it. There is that site that Luke talked about, Fund My Comic, but the thing is, I think there's a lot of people that are a little nervous about it because it's kind of like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So Indiegogo, for the most part, people do pretty well on the platform. So whatever Indiegogo's doing, on some level, it's working. This payment stuff and all that, like I said, I'm just a principled guy. I could be completely off, but those are my funds. Those are the campaign's funds. And I don't think they have any right to not give those, especially when they really haven't given a reason. They haven't given a viable reason to me or the people that they're not letting the payment go through. So I don't know. Is Fund My Comic any good? It's good, and it does well for some people. But if you're used to doing X amount of business, and you're with a certain platform, then you really don't want to shake things up. You don't want to take chances because there's a lot of risk. When you're making these comics and you're doing this, there's a lot of assumed risk on the part of the person that's doing this. There's a lot of sweat equity that goes into these campaigns before they even launch. So, you want to make sure that there are some risks. Well, you don't want to make sure there are risks. There are risks, but they're calculated ones. So you don't want to take risks just because. The Yahtzee said the same thing. For your own good is the BS mask all authoritarians use to control people. Yeah, we're doing this to make sure that you're okay. No, you're not. You're making sure you're okay, because if you send me those funds and then that person stiffs you, then you're screwed, not me. That's why you're doing it. You're not doing it to secure my funds. You're doing it to secure your funds because you want to make sure that you're covered. That's why you're doing this. So that's why I hated the PayPal thing, because they were all like nice and, oh, well, we're doing this for you. We want to make sure that everything's equitable and everybody's happy and all this other stuff. And then you find out how one-sided it truly was and how they were just placating you, so you feel like a sucker. You feel like an idiot. And then you're a victim on top of that with your own money, with your own funds. There was no reason this had to happen. Yeah, we give people too much power over us. Too damn much power. And that's why these things happen. Yeah, I do. I have collateral. I don't have to take a loan to do things. And even if I did, I have A1 credit. So if I cancel my credit cards, does that mean all of a sudden I have zero credit? The thing is, people bully. My wife gets bullied pretty easy. I love her. I love her to death. But, sometimes it's hard to fight the system when you're kind of fighting your wife too, And on some level, it's probably good to go with the flow, which is more her style. But when it comes to like my hard-earned dollar, I do get very principled and I do get very protective, because this is my hunting gathering skills. This is how I pay for things. This is how I live. This is my existence. If some jackass at a whim decides that they're gonna favor some other person, and then I'm stuck holding the bag, then what then? It's crazy. I hate not having control. Never do business with an Aussie. I think the post office would have done it, but I don't remember the details about the art return thing, but he would have had to work a little harder to get that money. But we always insure the artwork. So the artwork is insured. So there was no reason he couldn't go through the post and he couldn't prove a case. I think the problem was that Australia just didn't want to cop to it. Like, was it them that destroyed the post, or was it, in the United States? Like, who accepts liability? I forget the details of it, but it was complete and utter bullshit. But the insurance was there. It was fully covered. So even when you play by their stupid rules, these are their rules, you pay extra money for the insurance and they still don't come through. Like, we got triply fucked on that. The customer, the insurance, post, and PayPal. So thank you. Richard Dupe, if been bumped by PayPal and eBay in past. PayPal refunded a GFX card 6 months after sell date. I'd sold, I don't know what these initials SMH means, but yeah, I don't, I'm not sure why. I think the PayPal policy was that they always rule on the side of the customer, not the seller. I think that's what it came down to. So their policy is that. So they knew it going into it, and they just placated me to make it seem like it was fair, and I kept pushing it to the point that the truth finally came out, and they had to cop to it. Yeah, this is all bullshit. We're just trying to make you feel good. Obviously, that's not working out. So this is our policy, and it was never going to go your way to begin with. And then I told the guy, I was like, that works for a widget, like this pair of scissors, right? I sold this pair of scissors. Well, if I make these pair of scissors, I can duplicate this. I can remake this in a heartbeat. I have a machine that can make 1 billion scissors in an hour, right? These scissors don't have that much value. You know what I mean? Because there's 1 billion of them. But with comic book artwork, these were X-Men pages. These were Carlos Pacheco pages. They were character pages. They had Storm and got all kinds of like A-list X-Men characters on them, right? And this cannot be replaced. There's not 1 million of these things that I could just go, oh, okay, I'll suck it up. The scissors got destroyed. I'll send them another pair of scissors, right? No harm, no foul. But I can't do that with artwork. It's one of a kind. That's why they call it original. So they didn't have a policy that even remotely covers this, even though there was insurance and all these other things. So they just hid behind policy, their bureaucracy, and effed me over. Let's see what Paulus Art says. I'm catching up. Sounds like it might be worth the investment if we start making our own websites to fund, like Shane Bancroft and Eric Weathers. Yeah, I already have the mechanics to do that. And like I said, in the description is art by T Bear. There's original artwork mostly up there. I used to sell prints, books, and other things. My commissions list is not open, so I take commissions sometimes through there, and you can buy original artwork through the Art by T Bear. But I might start looking into selling books, because I do have some back inventory I can sell. But I really like kind of the whole crowdfund thing and all that, the dynamic of it. So I could possibly start advertising more for the site and put some stuff up and see how it does. In the past, books usually don't do very well on a site, but I haven't really tried since Comicsgate and all this other stuff has been happening. Like there's a pretty solid independent market that we've been able to build. So possibly, it'd be more successful than in the past. I used to bring these comics to conventions too in the past, like 5-6 years ago, and usually they don't sell very well. So I don't know. There is like maybe things are changing. Maybe I could try it again. I don't know what like Shane and Eric Weathers and Ben and Michael's business, their traffic is like there. But I should start looking into that and just basically have another revenue stream. I think that that eBay is a good, like you can sell stuff on eBay and things. I think you can even have an eBay store. So also, just as far as PayPal, a lot of the vendors that I use are overseas, and PayPal takes so much money in transactions and transaction fees. It used to just be, I mean, it was really a good product when it started. You know, they took very little, but now they really take a lot. And to the point of like some of these vendors that I'm dealing with, they'll take like, I mean, like half a page rate or a full page rate. So, which means they pretty much worked a day for free or however long it took them to put that artwork together. And that's criminal. That's not cool. So Pamela's been looking into other payments type of platforms. But to be honest, like the one that covers everything that we need is PayPal. All the other ones have like pros and cons. You know what I mean? So, you know, it works here, but it doesn't work there. It does this, but it doesn't work there. What I would like to do, but a lot of overseas, like they're structured differently, is I would like to just send like a check, just pay them in the form of a check. You know, some of them like Western Union, but if I use Western Union, I get charged. You know, I get charged a fee. So it's really when a service isn't really working for both parties, then I believe they should reevaluate it. And PayPal is doing some they're just shenanigans. They're doing things that really don't benefit the customer or you know the person that's using their service. It's like there was this woman, this lady. She ran a business when I lived in Corona. Nice family-run business, right? Her business was where I live now, which was in Corona, but she grew up in Norwalk, where I grew up, and her father had a where they cut hair. It's like a barber shop, right, for men. And so then, you know, she kind of followed in the family's footsteps, and so then they opened this place in Corona because they moved out there. So it's fairly successful, but it's margins. You know, like she's not getting rich, you know, and so she came to me once because my wife and I were regular clients, and she said, I know it's convenient to use your credit card. She said, but she said, I get charged a fee for accepting your credit card. And I went, what? And it's like, yeah, it's a fee. It's a service fee, like a whatever for accepting the card. And I said, but you're just accepting the card, right? Why would there be? She goes, I don't know. It's bad, but it's starting to hurt our business, right? So she said, if you could use cash, you know, I would appreciate that. So, you know, I like her business and everything. So that's what Pamela and I would do. You know, we wouldn't use the card. But I started thinking, if this is hurting their business, their bottom line, by the credit card double dinging, right? They're playing both sides. So they're getting the fee from us. They're not getting a fee from us because we pay it off every month. So they don't make a dime. I've had credit cards canceled on me because they didn't make any money. And they actually said that when they canceled the card, they said, we didn't make any money off of you, right? So, you know, most people, they pay their monthly, you know, premium or whatever, and then they always owe money to these companies. That's how they make their money. They make interest, right? And some of these cards actually they charge you to have the card, right? We don't have that, but some do, right? So the credit card company is making interest, and the more predatory and the more they can get you in debt, the more money that they can make. It is a modern form of slavery. And then there's a charge on some credit cards just to have the card. And then they charge the retail place for accepting the card, accepting their card. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, whoever it is, right? Why should the retail store or the food, the eatery or whatever, why should they get dinged for accepting your card. You should be kissing their ass that they're even accepting it, because if they didn't, you wouldn't be able to have a business. But you now, because you own everything, you can make the rules, you don't care, you can call the shots for all the little people, and these are predatory business practices that they're doing. It's just bottom line. It doesn't really benefit the consumer anymore, and it doesn't really benefit the person that accepts these cards. So there's a lot of stuff going on right now, you guys. And if they go with a complete cashless society, which is some of the things I've heard, holy crap, we are doomed. We are doomed. They can freeze your funds. They can decide who gets paid, who doesn't get paid. I mean, you're basically giving them control. You have no independence. You have no freedom. You have nothing. Cash is king. We should fight really hard not to give up our cash, because once that happens, like even that the Canadian truckers, they froze their funds. The government froze the funds, that people were donating to keep these guys going. Oh my gosh, man. This is evil. This is beyond the tip of the iceberg. Let me see. PayPal account goes into negative, Art. Yeah. What Pamela and I try to do in our PayPal account is we keep as little as possible in it. But the thing is, what we do is we pay our bills, like, the business side with PayPal. You know what I mean? So like I said, like our vendors and stuff like that, because a lot of it is overseas, and so it requires using some kind of payment system like that. And so we're kind of stuck. You know what I mean? I mean, this is, like I said, they turn you into a victim. They victimize you. Never leave money in your pay. Yeah, this is a harsh lesson a lot of people are learning. Yeah, like I said, if we didn't have to, that's what we did. As soon as this happened, we cleaned it out. But the thing is, then we would have to put money into the account and then pay the bills. So it's just kind of easier to keep money in there, but the money that is in there is minimal, just enough that we could pay, page rates and stuff like that. On like a few pages, not like a whole book or anything like that. So, but at some point, it's going to come down to, like, is the convenience worth it? You know what I mean? Like, this is what is happening on the other side. So is the convenience working? So would it be better, just to keep the PayPal account at zero and then just put the money in as we know we have to make some of these payments? Or if we sold a page, of artwork that we know that PayPal isn't going to back, then we just clean out the account. Because I do have a feeling, because this is what would have happened if we didn't have the money in that account, when that whole PayPal, the pages, that whole fiasco happened, then I think PayPal would have had to play with us differently. They would have had to been more honest with things, because they would have had to come to us and say, this happened, we need those funds so we can make right by this customer. And then I would have said, go F yourself. You're not getting it. All sales are final. And whether you back it or not, this is my business. These are my policies. So you can F yourself. That guy knew the policies. He knew all sales are final. So he's doing some shenanigans and you're backing his play. So no, we're not going to pay this because it's wrong. And then at that point, I would have just canceled, my PayPal account, and then we would have went into something else and figured something else out. But it never got to that point because we didn't understand. We didn't know what they were capable of doing, that they could actually use your money, that's our money, Not authorized. I did not authorize this transaction. They did it on their own. They decided they were going to do it. They stole my money and gave it to somebody else. And they said, well, you're going to get your artwork back. Oh, am I? What's going to stop? This guy is already unethical. This guy that bought the artwork, right? I don't have the artwork back. I don't have it in my hands. And you're paying him out? Why wouldn't he just keep the artwork too? Why wouldn't he just get the money from you and then just keep the artwork? I mean, we're lucky that he did. You know, he did send it. But I have 2 damaged pieces of X-Men artwork. You know, I'm out 2 pages of X-Men artwork, and I'm out that money. Either way, I got screwed. You know, it's my money and I want it now. Yeah, you shouldn't play hard and fast with other people's money. You're a third party. This isn't your money. And there's a lot of trust that people give these organizations, these financial organizations, that they probably shouldn't, because I think some of that stuff is very unethical. I know what PayPal did was unethical. I know what our bank did when they held our funds was unethical. And I'm fairly sure that this Indiegogo thing that's happening right now is unethical. It's not their money. They're just holding it. They're like escrow. They're just holding it. They'll take their percentage, you know, the whatever the payment organization, they'll take their cut. And then once they do that, then they send the person that runs the campaign their money. My name's on there. You know, you guys are backing me. You're not backing Indiegogo. You're not giving Indiegogo money. You know, like it's so strange. Art of Roy says, no, Art, if you have an account, it's linked to your bank, and they would just withdraw it directly from your bank. That's even more evil. I want to be free of all of this stuff. I want to be free of all of it. This is fucking evil. Well, at that point, could you go to your bank and say, I don't authorize this? Or does PayPal, their credibility, is their credit better or more powerful than you? Like your own bank would betray you to pay PayPal? Without arbitration, without a third-party arbitrator? They would do that? They would just send, you know, PayPal this money so they could send it to this person that's screwing you over. Wow, this is getting worse. I was hoping you guys would make me feel better. This is not good. Some third-party shipping company, a buyer used a bunch of sketch cards, either ripped off the buyer or lost the package, and I have to redo all the artwork now. No more overseas buyers for me. Yeah, I wonder if this would have played out the same way if it was the States. I think that because there was a U.S. Post involved with this Australian thing, and then there was Australian, I think these 2 entities were blaming each other, and neither one of them was accepting liability for it, even though there was insurance. So maybe if it was just in the States, it wouldn't have played out that way. Maybe the insurance would have worked. Darren, I can tell you that's a favorite hat of yours. I wear them until they fall apart too. I like them. Actually, this hat was attacked by my dog, but I know that sometimes you can buy these hats like weathered or pants or shirts or whatever. So I just figured you guys wouldn't tell the difference. Let's see, Jab Style. I come from VHS, DVD, Blu-ray form. People stopped using eBay, PayPal over 10 years ago. People getting exploited that way was basically the norm even back then. eBay or PayPal. So what's the alternative? What else can be done? Art, only do friends and family payments if possible, so no production product is tied to the money. Yeah, we did that with one of our vendors the last time because, oh my gosh, he broke my heart. He was telling me how much money, he usually loses and stuff like that. I don't want any of this, man. We're all kind of in this because we love the art form. None of us are really getting rich off of it. Some of us do better than others, but it still is kind of hand to mouth, and that breaks my heart. And so we sent it friends and family, and he was still charged a transaction fee. It wasn't what it would have been, but he was still charged. Oh, shadow banning. Yeah, that's what I couldn't think of. Yeah, Black and White 2 was shadow banned. Even Aaron Lepresti's campaigns have been shadow banned. So there's some kind of shenanigans going on with Indiegogo. But anyway, so that's probably what we're going to do. We're going to do moving forward. But the thing is, Pamela is so honest, and even with our taxes and stuff, she wants all these transactions above board, right? So if it's a business transaction, that's how it's labeled. It's a business transaction, so she has a hard time ethically. I do too, but I'm telling you, once somebody shows their true colors, I kind of think like kid gloves are off, right? Like all is fair at that point. If somebody's not going to deal with you in a straight and honest fashion, then I don't see any reason why you should treat them with more respect than they deserve, So anyway, we may be doing that as much as our conscience will allow us to do. But nonetheless, what I'm going to do, because I love working with these guys, I'm probably, if volume 3, cross your fingers, does well, then I will cut them in for a bonus, and the bonus will at the very least cover those charges, if not more, because I don't like anybody losing money. You know what I mean? They work hard for that money. I work hard for the money. So I don't work hard to give PayPal a bullshit fee, you know? So let's see. An alternate to PayPal is that Strip? I think Pamela looked into that. So like I said, some of these like Venmo and the different companies do certain things well, but certain things not so well. So it's, PayPal is still, the best for what we need them for. They have their own issues from what I hear, but at least it's not PayPal. There's one that takes the money right from your bank account. So they don't have an account like PayPal does, because also PayPal's making interest off all that money. They really are working like a bank. So if they have that cash that they have there, as most people have, like their accounts, then I'm almost sure that PayPal would be investing that money. I mean, why would you have that kind of cash just sitting there? Okay, exactly. Let's see. Happened to me a lot when I mentioned sites or email addresses. YouTube auto blocks a lot. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, I really do believe, like with this Indiegogo thing and a lot of the YouTube mishaps and problems, is because of the lack of humanity that's there. So they set up these algorithms that benefit the company. They don't benefit anybody that's using the sites. They benefit them. And so if these things kind of fall into those categories, then they act on them. But if it was a human, I don't think they would make the same decisions, because I would like to think that Indiegogo isn't an evil entity. And I think if there was a human involved with this transaction that I'm having problems with at this moment, that it wouldn't be an issue. They would be able to see, they'd be able to go back and they'd be able to see everybody's record and know that everybody's above board. But I don't think they did that. I think it just fell into this algorithm. And then it's weird because it didn't just get frozen. They deleted it from my total. So when you look at the site, and that's another reason I wanted to talk about this, because I want you guys to know you're going to get those for extra pages. We did hit the stretch goal, right? But now Indiegogo's being whatever and denying it. So what makes me worry is that they actually pulled it from the total, right? So, and then they say, oh, you have 7 days to resolve this with the person or the persons that are involved and stuff. I don't really have much to do with it other than I got a notification, you know, that you're fucked. Luke says he can see your post. I can see your post, Roy. Zelle is another one. Use Zelle as a direct payment art for original art if possible. I mean, okay, all right. Yeah, Zelle, like I said, there's pros and cons with all of these things. I don't know, maybe I should have all these accounts and then just use whatever those accounts are good for. You know what I mean? Like, instead of looking for a catch-all that does everything, which would help, you know, with our sanity, because there's so many things these days to keep track of. It could help, but maybe that's the way the world is forcing us all to be now. Flatty One, what's up, brother? As long as you use a middleman, it is their funds to decide or are forced to give the money. Yeah. It's like YouTube and Rumble. We know YouTube has major issues, but what's that? People don't want to move to Rumble as there is lower audience and it doesn't have all the same functionality. Yeah, so then things get complicated, right? So like you get like a YouTuber like Russell Brand. So instead of getting dinged all the time on YouTube, he does an edited version of things at the beginning of the show. Then he cuts the YouTube feed, and then he goes over to Rumble and gives the rest of the show. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to get people that are YouTubers to go over to Rumble and support him there. And as soon as he has that infrastructure that's strong enough, then he'll probably ditch YouTube or keep using them the way he does, but not put a lot of stock in it. And it's weird that we have to do this. But the thing is, these entities always have the power. So as much as we're shifting and changing, they're doing the same. You know what I mean? And they hold most of the cards. So we're always going to be, as I call it, we're always going to be a victim to these things. And I hate being a victim. I hate not having freedom. I hate all those things. So I try everything in my power to be independent of all this bullshit. And if I can, I do. I hate owing people stuff. I hate somebody like, oh, well, guess what? We're going to give your money to this dirtbag. Doc Brewski just got here. Can someone give me short and skinny of what is happening? Yeah, I'm going to go and kind of get some visuals here. If you guys were looking at the Oodles of Doodles and other stuff to site, it's at 12/3/29. Well, it should be well over that. Indiegogo decided that there were some funds that they didn't like, that they thought were risky or iffy or whatever, and so not only did they put a freeze on it, but they also deducted it from the total on the site that you guys can see. So I just want to let you guys know that no matter what happens here, I will honor those 4 pages. You will get those pages. I would like for those funds to be restored. That would be awesome. But if it doesn't, regardless, I'm going to give you guys those 4 pages because none of this is your fault. It's all Indiegogo. You guys all backed in good faith. And I said at 14 we would, and we made it. We made it, you guys. Thank you so much for helping. Thank you so much for for helping this little campaign that could. And we'll continue, you guys. A lot of you have said, you don't have the funds right now, but is it going to go in demand? Well, the book is in demand right now. So I'm not sure how long it's going to be up because I'm all about simplifying. And Black and White Volume 3 is going to be launching in October. So, excuse me, I don't know how much overlap, Pamela and I are going to be able to keep track of. So I can't really give you a guarantee that's going to be in demand for 6 months or a year or whatever it is. So I would say you still try to back the book as quickly as you can, just in case. If you still want one of the books, it's going to be a gorgeous book, you guys. It's going to take more than this to stop me from doing, doing crowdfunding and hanging out with you guys and making, books and entertainment for you guys. So this is Oodles of Doodles. If anybody in the chat has not seen it yet, this is my art book, 40 years in the making. It is a 9x12, 60-page glossy stock book that has just been increased to 64 pages, regardless of what Indiegogo does. This is the stretch goal of 14K. So this is some of the artwork that will be featured in those 4 new pages. So I gave you a little preview of stuff to come. Also, you guys wanted this Kevin Nolan drawing to be in the book. It will be in the book, you guys. So that will be in as part of some of these new pages. And then here's interiors. The link is in the description, you guys. So go check it out. We have a bunch of prints. We got some mini prints, this pit. We have 11x17, which is Juju to celebrate the 30 years of Black and White. So this October is going to be a big, big moment for Black and White and Hack Shack Studios. So here's set A, set B with the mini prints, and also, you guys, all the prints come signed and the book comes signed and numbered. So there's still room for plenty of backers here. So if you guys want, come by, pick up a book. I'm going to play Shanthan Jetty's video because it's freaking amazing.
Art T-Bear's Oodles of Doodles and Other Stuff Too is a 60-page, 9x12 hardbound book that will be printed on thick glossy stock paper and is a compilation of artwork from award-winning artist, Art T-Bear. This book is filled with images that come from Art's Marvel, DC, Image, and Comicsgate work. That includes convention doodles, commissions, creator-owned IPs, and pop culture subjects that Art has brought to life with his masterful draftsmanship. Art T-Bear's signature style is both lyrical and meticulously realized. The mastery of craft, seen in his work, owes itself to his 40 years in the comic industry, as well as viewing life through his own love of the art form itself. Fans of art prints have the opportunity to back one or both of the mini print tiers. Both are stunning collections of work that you can back individually or together as a bundle. Art T-Bear's Oodles of Doodles and Other Stuff Too. Back it now on Indiegogo.
Yes, back today, you guys. I do appreciate all the support that you've given in the past, and all my backers on the book. You guys are the best. And I want to show it to you guys, but I have a page that I have to do some shadow work on the black figure I have, and some little details on a robot kneecap of all things. and then it's off to effects and cleanups on the page. And as soon as I'm done with that page, it's going off to the colorist, and that's for Black and White Volume 3, Sins of the Father, and then full time on getting this book together. So so I'm going to put the book together. It should, all the files should go out to the printer by the end of the week, and it'll probably take a month or so to get the book back from the printer, and then we will be shipping. We'll be in fulfillment, you guys. Let's see what else, you guys. It's not how it was explained. It was explained that he was the one that has to make the claim, but that we were in somehow that, because this is through Australia, so somehow we were to be part of it. I don't remember the details about the insurance. Yeah, Doc Brewski, Art got PayPal scammed after customers. I don't know who is the platform that is helping Indiegogo. I don't think that's PayPal. I think it's another company. Well, they told us that he was the one that had to make the claim, because I do believe Pamela contacted our post office, and they said the buyer had to make the claim. Because why would I make the claim? The buyer's the one that got the damaged goods, and the buyer's the one that paid for the insurance. We didn't pay for the insurance. We charged the buyer the insurance fee. So Hack Shack Studios, we didn't pay for the insurance. The consumer, the buyer, does. So it's his insurance. Because I do believe Pamela went to our post office and talked to them about it, and they said that guy needs to make the claim. I could be completely wrong, but I don't know what this graphics card thing is. Graphics card, shaking my head, shaking my head. Thank you, Past Master Dan. Click this link, go over there, back a book. Art of Roy is helping that as usual. Art, you can still make an insurance claim to the post office. Just print out the info. I think it's his insurance. I don't think it's ours. I think he paid for it. But when you do make the claim, I believe the post office is buying the product, so you have to turn it over to them. Well, as long as I get paid for it, because I might be able to sell the artwork that I have, but it's got some folds in it, and I know there's a technique like that. You can put a cloth down or something, and you can iron out, because it's not a fold like a complete fold. It's just kind of a bend. So there isn't like that actual crease that's in it. It's just kind of like a slight bend. So the pages might be able to be fixed. The new shipping guarantee thing on Indiegogo is just a voluntary program for crowd funds that already have the product complete on the campaign's launch date. Okay. But we never checked off anything like that. I believe you can use Fund My Comic as an ongoing store. I do want to use Fund My Comic, but I'm just not sure how big the campaign. Let me see. Death Metal Hero. If you have to drive traffic to your Indiegogo page anyway, you might as well drive traffic to your own website. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We got some Luke Death Metal Hero fans. Luke. EVS slays on eBay. Yeah, and he's talked to me about doing stuff. So that might be the way to go as well. Happy Labor Day, everybody. Yes. PayPal should be the last resort. And yeah, cash is still king. But you know what? There are some places around here that will not accept cash. Like I've gone to these places, I had my cash, I was ready to pay for it, and the guy actually had the nerve to say, we don't accept cash. We are a cashless facility. Like they say it with pride. They even put the sign up in the window. I don't know. Well, they did afterwards. I don't know what is going on with people. Like you're just going right along with the agenda, because this is not good. It's not good for you either. So I don't quite understand it. And I tell you, I was pissed. I've never had anybody reject my cash before. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Oh yeah, and they're all prideful. Yeah, well, we don't, we're progressive. We don't accept cash. It's like you're a fool. You're a fool, and you're the first one, that's going to fall when the shit hits the fan. What are you getting out of this? At the very least, accept both, because you're going to turn away customers, and they sure as hell did there. And I talked to him, and then the guy could see I was getting a little irate, and so he calls the manager over, and the manager just says the same thing. And I said, so this food that we just ordered, you would rather not sell that to us and not make a sell than accept my cash? And then he thought about it, and he said, yeah. And I said, okay, then you don't get my cash. And we walked out. And it was a little bit of a scene, and it wasn't easy to do. And my wife was there, and she's very uncomfortable with the stuff. But I'm telling you, it's like, we have to do this stuff. These people need to know. Like, you're effing over one client for another based on the way society has been for as long as I've been alive, if not longer. And so this punk is like, well, we're not going to accept cash. We're progressive. We're doing better. So I want to believe cash is king, but I'm not sure. Doc Brewski, my buddy, owns a pizza shop that is cash only still. There's a place we go to as well. And so they're not cash only, but they'll accept credit cards, but they give you discounts if you use cash. I wish you guys were completely right. I don't know. Let's see. This is exactly why they want to get rid of cash, because they can't control it. Exactly. And they want to double dip. Exactly. Anybody could figure this stuff out. These giant corporations are 100% anti-consumer, and nothing happens to them. Yeah, and I think it's going to be worse. It's going to get worse. Flatty says red pills are better, but necessary, or bitter but necessary. Art, no matter what you have in PayPal, doesn't matter as long as you have a bank account. Yeah, got that. Yeah. Torchbearer, hell chat. I got it. I got it. Yes, I understand. I understand. Oh my gosh. I think that Anna, that Star Wars girl, was having some problems too. I don't know the details of it. I just glanced in the King's Green Room. Art, make an insurance claim. I'll talk to my wife, but I think that it's his insurance. Bob Newfart says PayPal is run by commies. NPC Oasis says they pay out through the platform with big business transfers. PayPal is strict serious about. Um, yeah. Yeah, I understand if something is truly iffy. I do, but this is not. And if there was a human involved, I don't think it would have got to this degree. So, yeah, I mean, you live and learn, right? You live and learn. Oh, insurance, man. Geez, don't even get me started. Yeah, I noticed that house values are going up like crazy. Not just here, but all over the place in the country. And so I heard, I don't, like I used to be like anti conspiracy. I like to hear the stories. They were fun, but I never really bought into them, give them too much credibility. But now things like these things that used to be considered conspiracy theories and stuff, they seem to be like you can back them up, right? So what's happening? Because the housing market's going like crazy. Like the values of these houses is going up faster than ever before. And so, if you own the house, you're like, oh, well, that's great. Uh, I got equity in the house now. But the thing is, your insurance, or your actually not just your insurance, but I know you said insurance, but I'm talking about taxes. So your property tax is assessed based on the value of your home. So if the value of your home keeps going up, then they can get more taxes from you. And so this is the scam that communities, cities, states are doing to the buyer or the homeowner. And so then the homeowner, if they want to keep their house, they have to keep paying this blackmail money to the city and the state in the form of these escalated taxes. So the only one that benefits from this is everybody except for the homeowner. So everybody benefits except for the homeowner, because the homeowner annually then would have to pay more in his property taxes every year. So the property owner, is the one that gets screwed in that case, and it goes up every year. And then insurance, well, I just heard like in California, insurance is going to go up by 50%, something like that. It's absolutely crazy. And yeah, I think that insurance is a scam. They gave us this thing like rates are going to go up, blah blah blah, and it's because of the amount of like environmental change. Like they're trying to hide behind like global warming or whatever bullshit, and the amount of disasters that have hit and that we have been paying off. And they're telling me that as they're saying we need you to pay more money. It's like, I don't give a shit about your business. Why should I care? You're a faceless corporation. I don't give a crap about you. I have never filed one, what do you call it? I've had problems with the house. I've had roof problems with the California house. We've had leaks. We've had all these things. But we never filed a claim because we know our insurances will go up. So that's your business. Your business is you scare people to the point that they don't even want to use your product, but they feel it's necessary, because if the worst case scenario happens, then they're left holding the pieces, right? And if you have a mortgage, the mortgage will force you to have this insurance, because it's not really your house. It's still whatever percentage the bank. So they require you to have insurance. So, but the thing is, I was thinking the other day, I own this house. I can't get out of the property tax situation, but the insurance I could, because nobody has the little meat hooks on this. I have freedom. So at this point, I'm not forced to have insurance on the house. I choose to have insurance. So I could not have any insurance on this house and save myself the premiums annually. And I I feel like if you have enough money that you could rebuild your house, like you have access to that, then you don't need your insurance. You know, you just save and save and save. I've been a homeowner for over 30 years, not one claim, never filed a claim. I've had problems before, but I paid that all out of my own pocket because I didn't want to be victimized by my insurance company. So yeah, insurance is a scheme, it is a scam, and I try every aspect of my life to be independent of all these shysters. And sometimes, and it's getting tougher, it's getting harder and harder. I believe a business account on PayPal offers more seller protection, where the regular PayPal account is more buyer friendly. That's actually good advice. I'll look for so what is it, like a business account? So business account on PayPal. Yeah, I'll look into it. Thank you. Old school bank. That's how we still do it. We go to the bank and we do all of our transfers face to face, because also I never wanted to be, like, because I think that's scary, where there isn't a place that you can go to get your money back. Like, it's all internet, or it's all, through your emails or whatever. Like, that's scary. Like, I've never met you. There's no facility. There's none of these things that exist. So I have no place to go. I have no recourse. I have nothing. Like, what's to stop if a bank wanted to go belly up? What's to stop them? You can't even go to your own bank and clean out your account. You have no control. You can't do anything. You are a complete victim to bureaucracy. Whatever shit they want to make you go through to get your money, to beg for your own money, to beg. That's what these people are doing when they're making you beg. Please, will you cover this cost? Please, can you do this? Please, can you do it? No, it's my money. These companies are evil. Travis Adams says, buying distressed clothing takes the fun out of weathering the clothes, or just, yeah. That's how I feel. I feel like I earned this hat. Dale says, have you considered a merchant account through your local? Well, wait a minute. Pamela and I have been talking about a credit union. So it's a merchant account credit union. Huh. That's interesting. So then can they can do these wire transfers and stuff like that? That would be interesting. PayPal once banned me for gambling without any proof whatsoever. Held up my money for a year. Oh my God. Some people shop and use their PayPal accounts. I got a feeling I'm way behind the chat. So I'm gonna move forward and just kind of do some highlights, because I'm gonna get back to work. Hail Commas Gate! Art equals lyrical. Lyrical genius. Yes, go check out Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too. Doot, 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 doot. He's blurry. Yeah, something's happening. I think it's my wireless. My wireless. We got Shadowhawk Talks. What's up? Bear always gets the fish. Hell to the yeah. Yeah, thank you guys so much. I mean, it does help out, being able to vent. And I did think that it wasn't just me personally venting. I mean, this affects the campaign, and a lot of you guys, are just great people, and you support and you keep up on these things, and I do really, really appreciate it. So I always want to stay transparent. I know that's kind of like a bullshit thing, but I do want to let you guys know as much as I can what's going on as it happens. And so, yeah, just to wrap it up, if anybody just tuned in, my Oodles of Doodles campaign, we did fund the 14K, the stretch goal. We went well over that, and we're well over that at this. Well, we should be well over that at this point. But Indiegogo decided, they didn't give us really any reasons, that they were going to hold back some funds, and so they didn't just put them on hold. They actually deleted them from the total. So if you see the total and it's not 14K, then you know why. And so I'm hoping that this will be resolved and that we can work through this thing and get that total back where it deserves to be. Uh, if not, it's just another case of being victimized by these money platforms and having very little recourse, because they Indiegogo used to have a phone. Like, I used to have a contact. I could contact people. They don't have it anymore. So they are really, really hiding behind a lot of bureaucracy these days, and making it harder for any kind of complaints or to get any kind of truth or fact out of them. So there is some shenanigans going on. Um, it's just getting tougher and tougher. And I always say it's not my world. I'm just trying to deal with it. Like, I don't make the rules. I just try to just navigate through them. And it seems like more and more of these rules are less and less consumer friendly, and they're definitely more corporation. When you can see the strings this readily and easily, then they're not even trying to hide it. You know what I mean? Like, they're being bold with it. They don't even care. It's like this is my saying now. It's like we've gotten to this point that it's like these corporations, these politicians, all these people that are pushing us to the brink, they're like, okay, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? That's where we're at now. We're like, what are you going to do? What am I going to do? Right? Are you going to fight it? Are you just going to cave in? What are you going to do? You know what I mean? So I think that's really where we are fundamentally, as far as Americans, as far as just citizens of this country. Just even the world is shifting like this. So it's not even just this country. So it's getting tougher and tougher, especially for an old guy like me to navigate through this shit. And but I'm in it. I'm in it. I'm gonna keep fighting and do as much as I can. And I don't know if venting this stuff on YouTube is helping at all. But I did have to say something, because any of you guys that are interested in this campaign will see a noticeable deduction in the total, and so that's why. So Indiegogo is holding back funds. So, man, Art of Roy, I appreciate you, my friend. Make that insurance claim. You bought it. It's for your package to be delivered safely in case it is lost or stolen or damaged. Well, it's damaged. Make a claim. Don't ask the post office folk. Just make a claim. Okay. I got you. I got you, brother. Art helped God select the curtains. All right, man. Well, I appreciate each and every one of you. thank you for hanging out with me. I hope it was entertaining. It was more me just kind of, ranting, but I do appreciate you guys listening and helping out and your concern. You guys are the best. And hopefully there is a Kings Tonight on Ethan Van Sciver's channel, which will be fun. It's usually around 6 Eastern Standard Time, somewhere between 6 and 7. And don't forget, the Brofessionals tomorrow is on my channel. I will be hosting, and we are going to be sexy. We are going to, the 6 of us are going to pick our sexy hero ladies from comic books. So I was thinking like maybe we could do each one of us, because we do these rounds, right? So we do each one of us get to say, and then we go back around again. So maybe we could do heroes, female heroes like that are very attractive or sexy, whatever. And then we could do sexy villains for the next round. And then we maybe, if we still have time, we could do sexy actresses that play heroes on film and TV. So that could be fun, and then we'll have, of course, we'll have visual examples for you guys. So, so I know that from what I hear, sex sells. So it could be a fun show. Hanging out with, Aaron Lopresti, Andy Smith, Dan Fraga, Billy Tucci, Graham Nolan is always, a high point every week. So if you guys are not subscribed to this channel, please do so. If you have not given a thumbs up on this, please do so. Like and subscribe. It does help the algorithms, and you'll get notice. You'll hit that bell and get some notice that when I go live. So you don't want to miss the show tomorrow night. It's going to be a blast. Like I said, tonight on Kings, we're going to have a good time. And you guys have a fantastic day. Enjoy your Labor Day, and be kind to each other. Take care.